Hey everybody, my name is Max George, and I will be presenting today on the aging and development of the digestive system. This information can be found in chapter 26. So first I'll start with the development of the digestive system. So development for weeks 1 to 3, by the end of the third week, the embryo is undergoing lateral folding, which affects the endoderm and the lateral plate mesoderm. And during this time, the liver bud also appears. This folding creates cylindrical primitive gut tube. The gut tube is connected to the yolk sac by the vitelline duct, which you can see here. And this is just like a thin stalk. And the gut tube will be divided into 3 segments: the foregut, which is superior, the central midgut, and the caudal hindgut. By week 4, the stomach is beginning to form. So a part of the foregut is going to make a spindle-shaped dilation. And this is what will form the stomach. Pancreatic bulbs appear, and eventually the pancreas is going to form from the fusion of the ventral pancreatic bud and the dorsal pancreatic bud. With the liver, the common bile duct is forming from the tube connecting the liver to the duodenum, and from this tube, the gallbladder and cystic duct will form. With weeks 5 to 7, the posterior part of that spindle-shaped dilation, that is growing faster than the anterior part. This is giving the posterior stomach its convex curve, while the anterior stomach has a concave curve. As the small and large intestines are also forming from the midgut and hindgut. The midgut is forming a primary intestinal loop. The cranial loop is forming the jejunum and most of the small intestine, and the caudal loop is forming the distal ileum and large intestine. And both of those loops are the sub of the primary intestinal loop. Both of those loops are formed from the primary intestinal loop. And during week 6, the pancreatic bulbs are fusing to form the pancreas. By weeks 10 to 11, the midgut is retracting into the abdomen, creating space for the rapidly growing organs, such as the liver. The caudal loop has moved to the right side of the abdomen, and the cranial loop has moved to the left side of the abdomen. And those continue to develop into their respective parts, which I just said. The vitelline duct also begins to disappear, and the rectum connects to the anus, and the esophagus connects to the mouth. And then so from here until birth, the digestive system is just continuing its development, and most of the major organs are in place at this point. So now I'm going to talk about the aging of the digestive system. So for the changes in the GI tract, changes occur slowly over time and are a normal process of aging. You will have, one of the big things is a reduction in secretions, especially of mucin. Mucin forms a mucus layer, which forms a protective layer in the GI tract. And so since you have reduced secretions of it, this layer is going to be thinner, leaving the GI tract, like the internal organs inside it, more vulnerable to damage. Epithelial cells in the GI tract will also not be replaced as efficiently. Oh, sorry about that. In the muscularis, GI smooth muscles become thinner, making them less effective at aiding in digestion. So your ability to absorb enough nutrients is going to be impacted. And functions like your ability to swallow, since your esophagus is smooth muscle, those will also be impacted. In the nursing home that I work in, many of the residents can only drink thickened liquids because of this reduction in smooth muscle thickness. Some other general changes. Your lifestyle choices will also impact your GI health as you age, such as smoking or not brushing your teeth. However, it is normal to lose teeth as you age. This can make eating more difficult and less enjoyable. And you also have a reduction in your sense of taste and smell normally. As you age, you are also more susceptible to developing different diseases. One such disease is GERD, or gastroesophageal reflux disease, and this is caused by the cardiac sphincter right here in the stomach. It's not closing properly for whatever reason, and so basically acidic chyme is splashing back into your esophagus, which does not have a protective lining. But this is mostly seen in smokers and overweight people. So thank you for watching my presentation. This has been the aging and development of the digestive system.